Hey guys, it's Lizzie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another book haul video since February is over. I'm going to show you all the books that I got during the month of February. If you've ever watched any of my videos, you know that I love to go to Goodwill, and that's where I get a lot of my books from. And looks like this month I got just a couple. And the way that I do it is I buy books at Goodwill, which it's already super cheap, but I buy them on the days that they're even cheaper, so they're usually just like $1.15. And then this month, I had my birthday, which was the 23rd, and my friend Katie from out of town was in town at the beginning of the month, and we went thrift shopping because I love to do that. And she actually bought me a few books then too, which are part of the Goodwill books. Okay, so let's just get into it. First, it's this book called Beautiful Lies. I haven't read it yet. I don't know much about it, but it looked really interesting and I thought I would give it a shot. So this is actually the next book that I plan on reading after I'm finished with the book that I'm currently reading. Then I have this book called Asylum, and it just looked a little spooky. I really liked that front picture. I don't know if you can really see it, but this is one of the books that my friend Katie got me while we were at Goodwill. And I have actually read this. I finished it. It's a young adult fiction. It's kind of like a psychological thriller. I don't know if I think that's what it would be considered. Really interesting. It's about a kid in his senior year of high school, I believe, and he's taking college courses during the summer. And he finds out some things about his past, as well as the past of a new friend of his, and kind of like the history of where the college courses are taking place. It just so happens that they take place on an old mental institution. Interesting story. It is young adult fiction. I enjoyed it. Not like my favorite book of the year. I think I may have given it like a 3 out of 5. I did enjoy the story though. Another book that my friend Katie got me at Goodwill is the Dream Dictionary from A to Z. It's just like exactly what it says, a dream dictionary. So I love to look up what my dreams mean. I love having dreams and writing them down. I love listening to people tell me their dreams. I'm a big dream person, and so it's fun to then look up what different things mean. So let's see, if you dreamt about fame, in dreams which you are famous or achieving fame within a chosen field, your dreaming mind may be urging you to recognize and give yourself more credit for your achievements. So there you go. If you dream about being famous, maybe you need to give yourself a little bit more credit. Okay, then I also got this Metropolitan Art of Museum guide, and the reason I got this is because it's just full of art that's here at the Metropolitan Art Museum. I've never been or anything, but it was $1 and I love looking at art. And you know, if you can't see art in person, the next best thing is looking at it in some form. So yeah, that's the other book I got for $1. Then at Goodwill, I also got Angels, Archangels, and All the Company of Heaven. Now, I don't know if you know this about me, but I am a very spiritual person, and I fully believe in angels and archangels and all of just about everything. So this was just a really cool book. It's full of different pictures of angel depictions, as well as some information about different angels and just stuff I love to read and learn about. And so I was really happy to find this at Goodwill, actually. Then I also got Good Morning, Good Night, Little Pep Talks for Me and You by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who was in Hamilton, as well as other things. I had no idea that he'd ever written a book, but I flipped through it and it's super cute. It's just like he said, little pep talks. For example, this one says, "Good morning, take a breath, then another, repeat, move at your pace, you got this." So I kind of like to just flip through this every once in a while and just, good morning, your pace today, no one else's, you can't be rushed, you can't be slowed down. So it's nice to just have little talks is basically what it is. It's very cute. It was just $1, so I really enjoyed it. Okay, and this other book I got from Goodwill is Brain on Fire. Now, I have read this already. I really enjoyed this. So it's the story of a girl who became very, very ill very quickly, and they could not figure out what was wrong with her. And I related to that because I was very, very ill for a long time, and doctors couldn't figure out why. And like all of the tests that she originally got, like all your basic like MRI, CAT scan, all of these basic blood tests, they all came back normal. And there's a part where she says like, you know, all of these tests show that I'm a perfectly healthy human being, but anyone that looks at her and talks to her and hears her story can tell that she's obviously very sick with something. And she was misdiagnosed a couple of times. Some doctors thought that it was just all psychiatric, like she was schizophrenic or something, when really what it is was she was suffering from a very rare type of inflammation in the brain, or inflammation in the brain caused by a very rare illness. And because of this book, actually, and she made a full recovery. It took her many years to really feel like herself again, but she wrote this book, and because of it, she has like helped bring so much awareness to this disease. And it's really amazing like what someone can do through the darkness. And actually, I want to read just really quick because I feel like it's relevant to me and my channel and my own story. Okay, so this is spoiling the very last page, so if you're someone that doesn't want to be spoiled, brain on fire, just skip ahead a little bit. But she ends it saying, "Someone once asked, if you could take it all back, would you? At the time, I didn't know. Now I do. I wouldn't take that terrible experience back for anything in the world. Too much light has come out of my darkness." And I just think that's incredible. And I want to be at a place where I feel that same way about my Lyme disease. I don't know if I can honestly say I agree right up there. I don't know if I'm at a place yet where I feel like, yeah, I would choose to have all that horrible Lyme stuff happen again because of all the good that's happened from it. I don't know if I'm there yet, but it is really encouraging to read from her after, you know, reading her whole experience, which was really, really heartbreaking, and all of the pain that she went through and all of the really scary stuff that her and her family went through because of this very rare disease. Felt like it was a really important read for me. So definitely something that I recommend. I believe I gave it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads because I feel like if someone's writing their own personal story about something horrible that they went through, how am I going to rate it anything less than a 5 out of 5? It was compelling, you know, how I would rate any other book. Like, yeah, it was compelling. I really enjoyed it. I find it to be very important, but none of that really matters in the end when it's just like someone is telling you their very personal story. So anyway, 5 out of 5. Okay, so next I have a couple of books. My coworker at work took a bunch of books to like one of the secondhand bookstores to try and sell, and the books that they didn't take, he was like, "Hey, you want to look through them?" I was like, "Yes, I do." So first and foremost, I love Emily Dickinson, and so I have other books of hers, of all of her poems. I have all of the collections, you know. I don't have every book written about her or anything like that, but I'm always looking for more, and this is a collection of critical essays of Emily Dickinson. So I'm adding this to my collection. I got it for $1. I did give my coworker a couple of bucks, whatever cash I had on me, which just so happened to be $3. Very grateful. And yeah, so I love this. Then I also got this from her, which is Inside Straight. Now that I'm looking at this, I see that it says that it's edited by George R.R. Martin. So did he write it? Now I'm confused. So The Return of Wild Cards, Inside Out. It looks like, okay, so I guess this is a book that's part of, I don't know, to be honest with you. I'll have to figure it out. The cover's kind of cool. I love the holographic, like, rainbow effect that it's having with the light. I think that's super cool. So, little fact about me. I may have mentioned this in my birthday Q&A video, but I couldn't get into Game of Thrones. I tried to read I tried to watch the TV show, couldn't get into it. But the insert of like what this book is about starts off with an alien virus, and so I'm like, okay, that sounds sci-fi and cool, want to read it. But I can't tell if he's actually written it because it just says, I'll get back to you on this. And then the other book I got from my coworker is an Orson Scott Card book, and also Aaron Johnson, but it's Invasive Procedures. I've never read anything by Orson Scott Card, though I know that he is a big-time author, so I'm really interested to read this as well. So at the end of my last book haul video, at the end of January, I was reading a book called The Similars, and the sequel to it was just out in January as well. So as soon as I finished that, I looked to see where I could get it, and I could get it at Barnes & Noble, so I went out the next day and got it, which is this one. So I read this in just a couple of days. I did a book review. Yes, I did a book review on both this and the first one in the series. If you want to go check that out, I really enjoyed the series. So go check out my review on that if you're interested. Okay, and then for my birthday, my best friend Sophia got me a book, amongst other things, and this book is super cool. It's called Muse with the Moon, and it's just this beautiful, like, journal that you follow along with the different phases of the moon, and I'm super into it. I love following along with the phases of the moon. I've got my own like new moon and full moon rituals that I do, stuff I'm very interested in spiritually, and I mean, she's my best friend. She knows me best. She knows that I would absolutely love this, and I very much do. And what's interesting to me is that I had gotten this just after filming that birthday Q&A video that I did, where I mentioned my love of Oscar Wilde. And it just so happens that they have a 2-page spread of one of his quotes, "With freedom, books, flowers, and the moon, who could not be happy?" So I thought that was really cool, and I love this book so far. I just continue to follow along with it as the moon goes on. My birthday was actually on a new moon, which is exciting. Shout out to Sophia. This book is amazing. Okay, and last but not least is another Goodwill book, actually, but I saved it till last because it's what I'm currently reading, and it's The Almost Moon by Alice Sebold, and she's written The Lovely Bones as well as another book, but I haven't read a book called Lucky, and I haven't read Lucky. I have read The Lovely Bones. I read that in high school, and there's also a movie, and I think I've seen the movie, but I don't really remember the movie. Anyway, when I saw this at Goodwill and I saw that it was written by Alice Sebold, I was like, well, this is definitely something I want to read. So this is how far in. I think I'm a fourth of the way, 25% through, and it's weird. It's so weird. So far, all that's happened, and I'm a fourth of the way through, is that she's killed her mother. And that's not really a spoiler, because that literally happens in the first couple pages of the book. She killed her mother, and then she goes through, like, and I don't even know what happens next. I don't really know what the storyline is gonna be, but as she's going through the aftermath of that, you find out different tidbits about her life as a child, as a young adult, as a mother herself. It's one of those books where I'm like, I don't know if I like this or not, but I'm definitely intrigued, and I want to keep reading it just to figure out if I like it or not. And she's an amazing writer. She's incredible with her words, but I don't know if I like it yet or not. So I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know how that goes. And yeah, that's it. Those are the books that I've gotten this month and the ones that I have read so far. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you have any comments, just leave them down below. I love to hear from you guys. And I think that's it. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.